Hi, this is Kris from Light and Joy Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to crochet the Moonlight Shimmer Shawl. You can see a picture of it here, and here's a couple more pictures. And let me show you the actual shawl itself. It's made with a shell trellis stitch, and I couldn't find it anywhere for a triangle shawl, so I only saw it in the books on how to make it as a straight pattern, and so I came up with how to make it into a beautiful triangle shawl. And this shawl is worked from the center, the top, down. And this particular one measures about 55 inches across the top. And from the top to the bottom corner is about 22 or 23 inches. But you can make yours as big or as small as you like. You can make it into just a shawlette, small size, or you could make it into a large one. Okay, so now we're going to see what kind of materials we need to make this shawl. You can make yours with any yarn you like. That's the nice thing about this pattern. But what I made it with is Shawl in a Ball in the colorway Prism. And as you can see, these colors are just gorgeous. I've got sort of a yellow mixing into a kind of a foresty, light foresty green, to this beautiful teal, and into some purples and blues. Just gorgeous. I used a J-hook, 6.0 millimeter. You'll need a pair of scissors and a sewing needle. This is a small little swatch, the beginning of your shawl, so you can see how it builds from here and all the way down. It just keeps growing and growing. And before we start the tutorial, I'm just going to show you the pattern here. This pattern you can buy on my Etsy shop as well as on Ravelry. And what's really nice about this pattern is it tells you how to crochet this in a few different ways. We have the pattern, the chart, with notes on things to look out for. We have the written instructions, kind of the traditional way with the repeats highlighted. And then I also, because I don't particularly like reading these patterns, my eyes go a little crazy reading them, I like to break it out a little further, and I've done that with this into like a spreadsheet. So here's your row 1, row 2, and you just do each box in sequence. And on the last 2 rows that you repeat, row 4 and 5, you go across and then down to the next line. That would be a complete row 4, and then row 5 and down. So this is a handy pattern to have, make it easier for you. But if you want, you can just crochet along with this video. So let's get started. Okay, so to start, we're going to make a slip knot. And then we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to join that with a slip stitch to the beginning of the chain to make a chain 6 loop. Okay, now that we have our chain 6 loop, we're going to start with row 1. And we start by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do 9 double crochets into this loop. One, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And one of my tips in this project is to always count, especially after your center 10, to make sure that you're there with the right number. It's much easier to fix it right then and there than after you've done more rows. All right, so we'll count it. Including the chain 3, we should have 10 altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. All right, and that's going to be the beginning of the top edge of our shawl. So row 2, and by the way, this pattern has 3 setup rows, and then rows 4 and 5 you just keep repeating until the shawl is the size you like. Okay, so for row 1, we just finished. We turned our work. We'll turn our work. We're going to chain 8 for row 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And actually, I hadn't turned it yet. I'll turn it now. The next step is to single crochet into the 3rd double crochet, and so we count 1, 2, 3. Single crochet in there. The next step is we chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to double crochet into the 5th double crochet of row 1. So this was 3, 4, 5. So a double crochet in here. And these double crochets are what form, that's our center column of the shawl. Next step is a double crochet into the 6th double crochet of row 1. And then we chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to single crochet into the 8th double crochet of row 1. So this was 6, 7, 8. So single crochet into the 8th double crochet. And we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last step is to double crochet into the top of the turning, the chain 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3. this fine yarn, sometimes it can be hard to see it, but you'll find your way. I mean, trust yourself. 1, 2, 3. And working with this yarn can sometimes be a little challenging. Let me see if I got that in the right spot, this one here. There we go. Kind of made that one a little tight. There we go. So this is our double crochet. All right, and that is the end of row 2. Let's just take a look at that. So we've got our 10 double crochet cluster. We've got these 2 center double crochets that are going to start to form a column. You're going to have a column of alternating 10 double crochet clusters, 2 double crochet, 10 double crochet cluster, and so on down the line. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to begin row 3. Row 3, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And turn our work. And now we are going to do 4 double crochets into that same stitch. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that gives us a 5 double crochet cluster if you count the chain 3, which we do count that. And when you're first working this pattern, especially in this fine yarn, it can feel a little flimsy at first, but don't fear, just go with it. It'll start to shape up very quickly. Next step is we single crochet into this chain 5 space. So we just go into that chain 5 space and make a single crochet. Now we chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we single crochet into the next chain 5 space. And then we're going to do 5 double crochets into each of the next 2 double crochet stitches. So we're going to do 5 in this one. We're going to do 5 in this one. That's 1, 2, 3. Get some more yarn here. 4 and 5. We can count those to make sure that's right. Make sure you don't count the chain 5 below where your shell starts, or your 5 double crochet cluster. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to do 5 more into this second double crochet here. One, two, three, four, and five. And the next step is we're going to single crochet into the next chain 5 space. Then we are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to single crochet into this chain 8 space. And then we're going to do 5 double crochets into the top of the 3rd chain. So 1, 2, 3. And when you're doing these here along the top edge, if you find that it's getting too tight and you want it to be a little stretchier or looser, you can always do that into the 4th chain if you like instead. Okay, so we're doing 5 of these. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this yarn is beautiful, and it's also can be kind of challenging to work with, especially if you're a beginner. But if you just take it slow, you'll get used to it. Just take it slow and trust that you're on the right path. Don't get worried if it looks flimsy in the beginning. You are on the right path. Just take it nice and slow. Okay, so we just finished row 3. Okay, so now we're going to go to row 4. And this is the beginning of one of our repeating rows. The rest of this project, you just keep repeating rows 4 and 5. So for row 4, we're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is essentially like a double crochet and then your chain 5 space. We turn our work, and the next step is to single crochet into the 3rd double crochet. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Single crochet. Did I say double crochet? You're going to single crochet in here into the 3rd double crochet. And then we are going to begin our repeat section. The repeat section is chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we single crochet into the next chain 5 space. We chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we single crochet into the 3rd double crochet. And remember, don't count that chain 5 underneath there. That's not part of the double crochet cluster. So we take that down. We go 1, 2, 3. Single crochet into that third one. So that's your repeat section, and as the shawl gets larger, you're going to repeat that all the way until you get to this center 10 double crochet cluster. And now we are there, so we're going to do the center part of the instructions, which is to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to double crochet 1 double crochet into each of these 2 center double crochets, which would be number 5 and number 6. This was 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you'll be able to tell where they are too, because they're just above the previous center double crochets. So that's 1 into number 5, and this is 1 double crochet into number 6. And now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are going to single crochet into that 8th double crochet. So that's 1. So that would be 6, 7, 8. And then chain 5 again. This is the beginning of your next repeat section of row 4. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to single crochet into the chain 5 space, and then chain 5 again. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we are going to single crochet into the 3rd double crochet. So again, we don't want to count that chain 5 that's underneath the cluster right there. So we're going to count from here. 1, 2, 3. Single crochet in there. And you can probably guess it again. Another chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And lastly, we're going to do a double crochet into the top of that chain 3. And sometimes it's hard to see, but we can see where the top is there. Okay, and that is the end of row 4. So you can see the pattern shaping up here, how it repeats. Very simple repeats of this 10 double crochet cluster in the center, and the next row has 2 double crochets, and then a 10 double crochet cluster, then 2 double crochets in the center, and along the sides it repeats these chain 5 spaces, and along the sides it's going to be repeating these 5 cluster double crochet shells. Okay, and now we're going to do row 5. So we turn our work and we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to do 4 double crochets into that same stitch. And that's going to create our chain 5 cluster. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to get some more yarn out here. So the next step is to single crochet into the chain 5 space. Next we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the chain 5 space. And then, as you can see, what you're going to see here with row 5, what we're doing is we're alternating a 5 double crochet cluster, chain 5, another 5 double crochet cluster, single crochet, then a chain 5, and then another 5 double crochet cluster, which since we'll be at the center, we're going to do a second one over here, and then so on. So our next step is to do a 5 double crochet cluster into this next stitch, this next single crochet from the previous row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we tie that down. I like to think of it as tying it down with a single crochet into that chain 5 space, and we're going to chain 5. 3, 4, 5. I'm going to tie that down with a single crochet into the next chain 5 space. Now it's time to alternate back to another 5 double crochet cluster, or 5 double crochet shell, and that's going to go into the first of these 2 center double crochets. So we'll do 5 double crochets here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And as I said before, it's always good to just double count. You can wait till you do all 10, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll do 5 more into the next one. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to tie that down on that with a single crochet into that chain 5 space, and we're going to chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the chain 5 space, and you can probably guess what's coming next. Another 5 double crochet cluster. That's going to go into this single crochet from the previous row. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Single crochet into the next chain 5 space and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into this chain 5 space, and we're going to do our 5 double crochet cluster into the third chain. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we can see what this looks like. So now we have our first 5 rows. See our top edge and our bottom corner, and it's starting to shape up. So now we are just going to repeat rows 4 and 5 until the shawl is your desired length. And what I'll do is I will go through one more round of rows 4 and 5. But if you would like, you can stop the video here and just continue on your own if you're ready for that. Or you can join me for repeating rows 4 and 5 again. If you're going to stop here, please let me know how you like this pattern in the comments below, and give it a like if you like it, and share it with your friends if you like it. And if you would like to purchase the written pattern, which is very helpful to have, because like I said, it's got 3 different ways to show you how to do it. You can get that on my Etsy shop or my Ravelry shop, and the links to those will be in the description below this video. Alright. Okay, so let's repeat rows 4 and 5 one last time, just to get the hang of it. Make sure that we feel comfortable with it. Get some more yarn out here. These colors are so pretty. I love this yarn, even though sometimes it can be a little challenging when you're first working with it, but it's well worth it. Alright, so we're at row 4. We're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, this is essentially like a double crochet and a chain 5 space. And we're going to single crochet into the third double crochet of the previous row. 1, 2, 3. as you recall, row 4 is basically making these chain 5s all along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tie that down with a single crochet into the next chain 5 space and chain 5 again. 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the third double crochet, remembering not to count this chain 5 below. So 1, 2, 3. Single crochet in there. And chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the chain 5 space. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the third double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're at the center. So we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And instead of our single crochet that we've been doing all along this edge, we're going to do our 2 double crochets in the center. And that's going to happen on double crochet number 5 and number 6. And then chain 5. And now we're going to single crochet into the 8th double crochet, so that's 6, 7, 8. And chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the next chain 5 space. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the third double crochet. Remember to not count this chain 5 below. That's right below that cluster. 1, 2, 3. Chain 5. Single crochet into the chain 5 space. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then single crochet into the third double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a double crochet into the top of that chain 3. Okay, so that's row 4 repeated again. And you can see we have all of our chain 5 spaces all around. This guy's hiding there. And with our 2 center double crochets. All right, and now we're going to do a repeat of row 5, and we start with a chain 3. 1, 2, had to stop there because the sun was getting in my eyes. All right, so we just did chain 3, and now we're going to turn the work. And we're going to do 4 double crochets into this same stitch right here. One, 2, 3, and 4. And when we combine those 4 with the original turning chain, the chain 3, we have our first 5 double crochet cluster of row 5. So now we tie this down, I call it tying it down, with a single crochet to this chain 5 space. And we're going to make another chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because row 5 alternates between these clusters and then chain 5 spaces with single crochets in between. Single crochet, and now we're going to do another cluster into this single crochet right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This yarn is so pretty. It's just so delightful as you're going along and as these colors change. I hope that you can see this, this pretty purple color. They're just gorgeous. And if you want links to where you can get this yarn, you can go over to, I'll have a link to my blog as well in the description below. So now we single crochet into the chain 5 space, and we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the chain 5 space, and now it's time for a cluster into this single crochet here, 5 double crochet clusters. So we start with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to tie that down with a single crochet into that chain 5 space. Just getting some more yarn ready here. We're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the chain 5 space, and we're going to do a 5 double crochet cluster here on each of the 2 central double crochets of our center column. One, 2, do 5 in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll just show you what that looks like. You can see how we're getting the alternating cluster, chain 5 space, cluster, chain 5 space, cluster, chain 5 space, cluster, the 2 center clusters. Then we're going to single crochet, tie that down, chain 5, single crochet. I'm going to do another cluster here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the chain 5 space and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet in the chain 5 space and do another cluster into this single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Single crochet into the 5, the chain 5 space, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet, and then we're going to do our last cluster of this row into the 3rd chain. 1, 2, 3. And there. Once you get it into that chain space the first time, it's easier to get it in the 2nd and 3rd time and 4th time. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that is how you crochet the Moonlight Shimmer Shawl. And as I mentioned in the beginning, you could do this pattern with any yarn, any crochet hook of any size that you like. Make it as big or small as you like. It's a very simple pattern. It's easy to memorize once you get going. If you like this, please bookmark it, share it, like it. See below for where you can purchase the handy reference pattern. And please send me pictures and feedback in the comments below. If you post your picture of your shawl, please use the hashtag Moonlight Shimmer Shawl. And then we can all see what everybody has made, all the different ways, different yarns that you make it in. It'll be really fun. So this is Kris from Light and Joy Designs. Kris.com. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing what you make and hearing from you. Bye-bye.